Winds north-northwest, 5 to 15. Wednesday, partly sunny. Highs making into the middle 50s. Wednesday night, partly cloudy to mostly clear. Lows fall back to 38. Looking at Thursday, sunny. Highs reach 61. Lows head down to 40 on Thursday night. Then highs climb into the middle 60s on Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Right now it's 48.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a very pleasant good morning to you. Welcome to Tuesday edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. I'm in my Saginaw Spirit Home studio this morning. Later on, we'll have open phones, and at 11 o'clock on Focus this morning, we're going to talk to Chris Harrington, the health officer in Saginaw County, about the Be Well initiative and the walk that's going to be taking place. But we're going to start this morning talking about one of those places that makes all of us better because of its existence. It is among the growing trend of farmers markets, and this one happens to be in Midland. And we welcome this morning the market manager. We say good morning to Emily Lyons. Emily, good morning.
Hello, Art. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being with us this morning. So if we look at the history of the market, and of course the market was down by the Tridge for many years until the big floods came. Then you moved over to the parking lot at Dow Diamond, and it appears you're looking to make another move. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the probably 70 years based off of historical data, and for the majority of that time, we have been down by the river, and it's been picturesque. That doesn't mean it hasn't come with some difficulties because of rising waters, and what we're seeing is that maybe is not the spot for the market as it has come into this century. And so it might be time to specifically for the market in the future.
And now when we talk about a location, you're looking for something more permanent than you have now. Is that right?
Yeah, it would be nice for the market to have space that's actually its own. We've never had space that is its own. In the recent past, the last 20 to 30 years, it's actually been a lease through the city of Midland for the space because it has been a city park.
So as you look, I mean, do you have geographic bounds? Are you looking to stay within a certain place?
Well, I think we'll stay in the county, and I think we'll stay in the city. It would be nice if we could be in the downtown area. There's not a lot of space. I mean, if we look at the footprint that we have today, taking into account the space that the market itself needs and the space that we need for parking, we're looking at a number of acres. And that can be difficult to find. But we think that there can be some ways that we can find that creatively, and hopefully make something amazing.
Have you identified certain parcels, or are you still just in the hunt?
We are still on the hunt. We haven't identified anything today.
Ideally, if someone came along and gave you a couple of acres of empty land, where you could build permanent pavilions and have parking, that would be the ideal situation, right?
Specifically out of the floodplain and floodway. Yeah, that'd be great.
Out of the floodplain. Yeah, okay, got that.
I mean,
got that.
Just to really be transparent, I had to close the market in 2017 when we flooded.
Right.
And then many Midlanders remember that we actually flooded again February of 2018. Mm-hmm. And then everyone remembers that we flooded May of 2020. And those were all, I mean, 18 less so, but those two were big floods.
Mm-hmm. I just want to talk just for a minute about the Tridge area, because you were down there, and as you said, you've been flooded a number of times. Parking was also an issue, wasn't it? It's not just the floodplain. You have to have everything, don't you? You really have to have the whole setup.
Yeah, in our neck of the woods, our part of the country, being able to access space from a personal vehicle is important. Now, that being said, not everybody has a personal vehicle that they utilize to access them. We also need to make sure that we have an adequate space for county connection or, other public transportation. But we're also being very thoughtful about those who might or would be interested in parking further away and walking to the market or biking. You would be amazed at how many people bike miles to come to the Midland Area Farmers Market on a regular basis.
So the market is operated by the Midland Business Alliance, and what's their role in helping you find land? Because I would have to think they have a lot of contacts.
There's a few contacts throughout the county and the region. Yes. So we're all working closely together. Our CEO, Tony Stamis, as well as Economic Development VP, Nicole Wilson. We're all working together to talk about best location, the goal of the market. We had over $80,000 worth of food assistance dollars spent at the market in 2021. I don't think that is a tiny number. And so think about all of those things to make sure that we're finding a good spot that is going to work well for everyone, including vendors. That's important too.
I have to wonder if our good friends at Dow don't have a couple of acres set aside someplace. That's just first thought came to my mind.
Well, I will write that down and take that into account for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, it's they have a huge footprint. You would think maybe they've got a little land someplace they could do that.
Yeah.
Would be nice. So how successful has the market been in terms of vendors?
Yeah, over the last, say, 5 years, we actually have seen a reduction of vendors. I think that there's a few reasons for that. We did modify some of our rules and regulations because we were so tight down next to the river, and people were interested and couldn't get in or whatever. So we went to a Consumables Model, and that would include soap and other things that we wouldn't necessarily eat, but we consume them in one way or another.
Right.
And that ended up working out really well for us when the governor in 2020 said that farmers markets were essential, but if you had arts and crafts, they were not allowed because those are not essential. I had colleagues across the state in my role have to tell vendors that they couldn't participate in the entire season, and I didn't have to turn anyone away after they had applied in February and March. And so that was pretty great.
So
that farmers are getting older.
Yeah. So are broadcasters.
And I'm very thoughtful about that. How do we create a space that is welcoming for everyone, but also can show a future generation or two that one of the most important things you can do is to help feed your fellow human.
Yeah. So 2022 is almost gone. What's the plan for 2023? Are you still going to be at Dow Diamond for that year until you find that permanent home?
Yeah, we actually asked them for an agreement for 2 years because we were so used to having, like, everybody knew all the time exactly where we were gonna be, what the
Right.
plan was. And so ever since 2020, we have been year to year. And so now we have a 2-year agreement through the end of 24, which on the whole, I'm getting really good response about. And it's nice to have that stability for the short term.
Yeah. Well, Emily, let's keep in touch to see how you do in finding this property. And
Sure.
I can only imagine what the future looks like if you do find that land. Be pretty good.
We are looking forward to it. I'm up for the challenge.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you down the road. Thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Emily Lyons, she is the market manager for the Midland Farmers Market. Farmers markets certainly have come into the forefront in the last number of years. No doubt about it. They are everywhere and welcoming. Great places to shop. Let me tell you about another great place to shop if you're looking for a car. Thalen Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bay City. Because they do have some new cars on the lot, and they have lots more coming in all the time. So if you're thinking of buying a new Chrysler Dodge Jeep or Ram truck, go online to thinkthalen.com and take a look at the inventory and complete 80% of the purchase online. You still have to come in and sign the paperwork and all that, but you can do about 80% of it online. And they have new vehicles arriving all the time. You can make sure your name is on one of them. Now, if you're looking to move up, maybe you want a pre-owned car that's newer than the one you're driving. Thalen would be the place to go because all those Thalen dealerships are side by side on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. And all of their pre-owned vehicles are right there, the largest selection in the Great Lakes Bay region. You can stop in and look them over or visit them online at thinkthalen.com. If you stop, they're right there on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. Sit down with the Thalen representative, strike your best deal, and drive it away today. Thalen, the family that's been serving your automotive needs for 45 years. Stop today or visit them online at thinkthalen.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. .com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
We're learning Americans bought fewer durable goods in August compared to the month before, but the drop was not by as much as expected. It was down 0.2% versus the expected drop of 0.4%.
This is August durable goods, big ticket items, things that are good for 3 years or more, electronics, cars, furniture. If you strip out transports, we actually came in line with estimates, a jump of 0.2%.
Fox's Cheryl Casoni. Market. Numbers still up in the pre-market. Biogen shares are under pressure. The company agreeing to pay $900 million to resolve allegations that it violated federal law by paying kickbacks to doctors to persuade them to prescribe its multiple sclerosis drugs. The company says it believes its intent and conduct at all times were lawful and appropriate. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Help the Tunnel to Towers Foundation do good and never forget the sacrifices of America's heroes. Heroes like Misota's Familia, who couldn't wait to join the NYPD community. She proudly wore her uniform, but was ambushed and shot in the head in the line of duty, solely for the uniform she wore. She is survived by 3 children who received a mortgage-free home from Tunnel to Towers. Donate $11 a month to Tunnel to Towers at t2t.org.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Do you know what people see when they Google you? Search engines don't always get it right. And when they're wrong, it's your reputation on the line. So what do you do when you don't agree with your search results? Call Reputation Defender at 800-401-6681. Reputation Defender by Norton is one of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. We have over a decade of experience in fixing people's search results, and we can help you. Approaches. Reputation Defender pushes unflattering information down to lower pages of your search results where few people ever look. We also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, letting you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. You owe it to yourself to take control with Reputation Defender. Visit www.reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 for free advice on your situation. 800-401-6681.
Art Lewis here for WSGW, inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier, Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the inside passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Collette Vacations Ed McKenna on October. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to Art Lewis at WSGW.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to Art Lewis at WSGW.com. Alaska is calling.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robin show, is Alec Baldwin going to get charged with a crime? I stand behind Alec because standing in front of him is a death sentence.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, and for the remainder of the program till 11 o'clock this morning, open phones. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111 is the number to call. And we'd be delighted to chat with you. So pick up the old Alexander Graham Bell invention and give us a buzz. I want to start out talking about cars for a little bit because I found these two headlines interesting together. The first headline, Ford Model T turns 114 years old. It was from yesterday. The Ford Model T. Next headline, new fully self-driving Volkswagen allows you to work, eat, and sleep. Can you imagine putting the new Volkswagen Gen Travel vehicle, is what they call it. Now, it's not a production vehicle, so don't get your hopes up yet. But it operates at the highest self-driving level, and they're hoping it'll be an alternative to short-haul flights, believe it or not. fully self-driving. Can you put that next to the Model T that Henry Ford created just 114 years ago? The first affordable car, and one that Henry Ford didn't want to change. He resisted new models. He thought the Model T was it. It was selling fine. Why should we do anything else? Of course, all the other car makers started coming along and building cars, and finally Ford had to yield. And from that came the Model A and some other things. But Model T was around for a long time. And Ford was insistent that it was the car. But not Volkswagen. They've come along now. And I'm wondering, would you ever consider riding in a car that is very futuristic? I've seen pictures of it, but has absolutely no control internally. Level 5 autonomy is what they call it. And it would literally allow you to sleep for hours. I mean, you know, depending how far the car could go, you literally would be able to sleep. I have to tell you, I'm not right now in a mind to accept that kind of autonomy. They haven't proven it enough yet. I think there needs to be a lot more work on autonomous vehicles before I'm satisfied that they truly are autonomous vehicles. Not ready to put my life on the line for that yet. All right, let's go to our phones this morning. Errol is waiting for us. Errol, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
We're doing well.
I'm gonna play a little trivia with you this morning.
Uh-oh.
Do you remember when we were kissy face with the Russians?
Never. Well, yeah, when Gorbachev was around, I think maybe we might be able. No.
This is back in 1918.
Oh, way back when.
President Wilson sent 21,000 American soldiers to help the Russians with something they had going on. But we forgot to send them because it was in Siberia. We didn't send them the right clothes with them, so we lost a lot of soldiers because there were 21,000 due to cold weather. We were supplying one side in Russia with everything they needed, but this was known as the expeditionary. I can't pronounce the word.
Expeditionary
Force. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
expeditionary force.
Wanted us to go the most was France and England to help out Russia. So we were kissy face with Russia at one time before.
Yeah.
Nowadays, but
well, we were kissy face with Iraq too. I mean, you know, so
yes, we were.
So
anyways, that's just, and someplace in this state is a monument to the Winter Expeditionary.
Repeat after me. Expeditionary.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Fill in the words. But anyways, someplace in a town in this state is a monument to that force of 21,000.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of them from Michigan, but you know, other parts of the country also. Yeah. I forgot. I had that book originally, but I gave it to Jerry Willis. I don't think I'll ever get it back. But it was he departed for another part of the planetary system. Mr. Willis did. But anyways, I thought you might be interested in that.
Yeah.
But
well, you know, there's a
good history.
There's right now in Russia with Putin's actions and calling up Russians to fight the Ukraine. He's finding himself in a position he's never been in before. He's got protesters and rioters and people leaving the country in droves, driving out of Russia.
I thought I heard on the news this morning how many have already got out of the country and
lots.
Went to Georgia and the trains and bushes and everything else. So that's my trivia for today, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, gee whiz, Earl, thanks a lot.
Well, I'd rather watch paint dry than sports. I'm married to someone that's a sports fanatic. And when Michigan State is playing, her 2 cats disappear.
No,
She,
jeez.
It's a little noisy. The Michigan State fans and that.
All right. Well, in conclusion, repeat after me. Expeditionary.
I can't.
All right.
My brain is not functioning, so I'll talk to you later. So, bye.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
All right. That opens the lines for you. And we will take a break, come back, and get to more calls here on the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday morning.
Your home is your haven, and energy-efficient window treatments can make it feel even more comfortable throughout the year. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Now through December 5th, save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous shades that will beautifully transform the light in your home. Also, select Mohawk carpet featuring all pet protection and warranty are on sale now. The only carpet with protection and warranty for all pets and accidents all the time. Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, celebrating 60 years in business. We'll help you bring it all together.
Are you looking for something special? Something right for your needs? What about something with performance, backed by unique germplasm? Well, we're here to help you for your soil mate. With AgriGold, enjoy a seed made so specifically for your soil it feels like fate. And with a team that's with you every step of the way, it's never been easier. Find your soil mate at chooseagrigold.com.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
Attention all or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877. You can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW.
Rito rolling to his left, going to throw it, has a man open, it's tipped, but it's caught! Touchdown Saginaw Valley!
After routing Michigan Tech, the 14th ranked SVSU Cardinals have their biggest test yet, a trip to number
Saturday evening at 6:30 with kickoff at 7 on 790 News Radio WSGW. SVSU football is brought to you by Westside Decorating Center, United Financial Credit Union, A-Plus Plumbing, Forward Energy, Mercantile Bank, and Jag and Nathan Neurosurgery.
Saginaw Valley State University football on WSGW. Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and Mark is in Saginaw. Mark, good morning. Mark? Hello, Mark.
Yes, hello.
Yeah, there you are. Good morning.
Are you there?
Yes, are you? Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over in Ukraine, they're having a special election, and Russia's going around collecting ballots.
Yeah.
And some argue that that's ballot harvesting, and in the United States, we don't recognize that already, and they haven't even had the election. My question to you is, in 2020, we had an election, and elderly senior homes, they went around collecting ballots. Some were charged with ballot harvesting. What is the difference between denouncing the Ukraine that hasn't even happened election and the United States where the same thing happened?
Well, it wasn't the same thing. Let's start with that. And you mentioned it yourself, some people have been charged with that here in this country. In Ukraine, they're forcing people to vote at gunpoint in some cases. That's a whole different story. Not the same. But ballot harvesting, as we understand it in this country, when it comes to our elections, should be illegal, is illegal, and people have been charged. Now, do we get all of them?
After.
Well,
right.
How do you charge them before? You can't charge somebody with a crime they haven't committed yet.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, that's,
I just wondered what
I think you need to find ways to prevent it. You need to find ways to prevent it, obviously, but you can't charge somebody until they actually commit a crime. But they're two different worlds. I mean, we should worry about ours, obviously, but there's no comparison with what's happening over there. None whatsoever.
All right. Fair enough.
Good enough. Hey, Mark, appreciate it. Thanks.
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
Take care.
And Robert is in Frankenmuth. Robert, good morning.
Good morning. That last call talking about the expeditionary force.
Yes.
The monument that I think he was talking about is the white polar bear at the cemetery by 12 Mile and I-75.
Oh, all right.
That's where a bunch of the bodies have been reburied there in an area.
Very good.
And they took the nickname of polar bears. And at the Heroes Museum in Frankenmuth, there's a whole section about those polar bears.
You know, I forgot about that. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yep.
Well, thank you for the info. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
Take care, Robert.
Yep.
Bye-bye now.
Bye now.
And Keith is in Gladwin. Keith, good morning to you. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Art. Thank you for inviting me in today.
You're welcome.
Quick question. Back a couple months ago, prior to the primary elections, you referenced Michigan.gov website to look at the upcoming voting ballots.
Right.
Do you happen to have that website handy?
You go to mi.gov/SOS, which is Secretary of State.
Okay.
And you will find an Election Central, I think it's called. And you would click on that, and then there's a selection where you can actually see the ballot. You would put in your voting district where you vote, what precinct you vote in, because you want to see your ballot, not somebody else's.
Correct.
And so you put in your name and you put in the precinct you vote in, your town, and your ballot comes up. And you can print it. You can print it off and share it with folks and study it.
Fantastic.
Yep. But just go to mi.gov/SOS and look for the election area. You'll find it.
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Hey, you're welcome, Keith. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now.
You bet. Bye.
And that, it actually reminds me, because I want to do that. And I'm not sure if, a matter of fact, what I will do during the break, I will do it. and see if the ballots are even up yet. They should be, but don't know. And it's wise to do that, because then you are prepared when you go to your polling place. You don't have to waste a lot of time thinking about it. You've already made your decisions, and you know what you're going to do. I love it. We do it all the time. I download it for my wife too, and she looks it over, makes her decisions, and I look it over and make my decisions. And when we go to the poll, it doesn't take us very long to vote once we get to the booth. All right, we'll take a break, and then we will be back with more.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a proud union member, business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Have you recently tested positive for COVID-19? You may be eligible for therapeutics like antiviral medications and antibody therapy, which could reduce your risk of hospitalization and death. If you are a high-risk patient, talk to your healthcare provider about your options. To learn more about COVID-19 therapeutics, go to michigan.gov/COVID therapy. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Salon Blue. You are going to get a gel manicure and a Salon Blue pedicure for only $60. It's usually $120, but you are getting it half off. Salon Blue is a full salon, spa, and boutique. You'll leave feeling happy and feeling like new. At RocketGrabPlus.com right now.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor. And he can do just about anything because
I'll make the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R because
we really are trying to create this homestead.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1-Series tractor for just $124 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. It's a dangerous time to not know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting. Manage risk, get reliable forecasts, improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer, NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's what say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/radar. netsuite.com/radar.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
Your WSGW online poll about healthcare in America, the poll from the Associated Press and ORC Center for Public Affairs Research. A majority of adults say healthcare is not handled well in these United States.
Oh, really?
Breaking news there.
Wow. How did they arrive at that conclusion?
And this includes access to doctors, clinics, hospitals, healthcare for older adults, costs overall. Costs were involved in this poll too. And the solutions were pretty general. Needing more federal government involvement, needing more private involvement, or needing more of a mix of both. Essentially, a lot of what's already happening today, isn't it? You'd say so? So the poll question is basic. What would you say about healthcare and how it's handled in America? Would you say it's handled well? Would you say it's handled poorly? Or do you think, it's handled good in some ways, but bad in the others? We want you to vote. You head to WSW.com, scroll down the homepage, and make your vote that way.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 till 9 on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Before we get back to the phones, I did go to the SOS site. The ballots are ready for you. You'll go to mi.gov/SOS. Click on the voter information segment. It's on the right side. And then once you get there, on the left side, there's a column at the bottom of that column. It says, what's on the ballot? Click on that. Fill out the requested information as to where you live and where you vote. And then your ballot will come up. And we'll talk about it. I've got mine right here. And I am amazed how many ballot proposals we're going to have to deal with. I'll talk about that. But Scott's waiting for us in Saginaw, so we'll say good morning to Scott.
Good morning. I'll make this quick. A couple of weeks ago, I think Jean from Bay City had called, and she was upset with DeSantis and Abbott for sending some of the illegals around. But what maybe Jean doesn't remember is before Biden opened the border, every school in every 50 state was already basically overwhelmed. Too many students for the teachers. There's not enough money coming into these schools. And so now we're bringing all these, or Joe Biden's bringing all these people in. Some of these people are going to go to school. So the teacher's not going to be able to teach forward anymore to these kids. We already have a problem with our schools failing. Then on top of it, these people are going to also pull our resources from a healthcare system that's already stretched.
Yep.
Then with that, it costs. Go ahead.
While you're talking, I'm thinking about the movement you mentioned, DeSantis and Scott. Didn't Biden fly people around early on? Wasn't he putting them on airplanes and flying them places?
Well, those were early morning flights, though.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were early morning flights. All right. There is a difference. That's right. Nobody could see them. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Okay.
And here's a real sterling statistic I heard this morning on the news here. Is they're saying annually it's going to cost $10,000 a year for the basics for these illegals, which is going to equate to $160 million annually. They said if they had that $160 million annually, every vet could have a home and $50,000 a year. So, Gene, where should our money be going to support those who supported us and our children so that we have a future for us to help others, or should we destroy everybody so nobody gets nothing?
Yeah. Well, listen, the bottom line here is we need to control the borders. If you don't have a border, you don't have a country. We have to shut the border down and then have an immigration policy that makes sense and allows for immigration and asylum and all of those things. That is the humane thing to do, but not the way it's being done right now. That's for sure. All right, Scott.
No. All right. I'll talk to you.
Talk to you, buddy. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right, so back to the ballot. Now, you remember, every ballot is going to be unique to your voting precinct. So I'm using mine as an example. What's on mine may not be on yours, particularly county proposals and local proposals, because what's happening in Saginaw County, where I live, may not be the same that's happening in Bay County. The state proposals will all be there. I'm going to skip all the candidates for office because there are tons of them. In these midterm elections, you get to vote for all of the university boards and all of that stuff. People you have no idea who they are for the most part. So we'll skip that and go to the proposals. So here are, in my precinct, here are the proposals that are going to be on the ballot. State proposals. Proposal 22-1. A proposal to amend the state constitution to require annual public financial disclosure reports by legislatures and other state officers and change state legislator term limit to 12 total years. So this proposal, I didn't realize it was there till I read this, is not only a proposal for transparency of financial matters, but it changes the term limits for state legislators. And it replaces the current term limits for state representatives and state senators. It would be 12 years for both. And that's proposal 22-1. 22-2, a proposal to amend the state constitution to add provisions regarding elections. And this is the one that recognizes fundamental right to vote without harassing conduct, require military or overseas ballots to be counted if postmarked by election day, provide voter right to verify identity with a photo ID or a signed statement. And there are other apps. When you pull it down, you can see all of the provisions of that. Proposal 22-3 is the proposal that has to do with abortion. Proposal to amend the state constitution to establish new individual right to reproductive freedom, including right to make all decisions about pregnancy and abortion, allow state to regulate abortion in some cases, and forbid prosecution of individuals exercising established right. Now, there are also county proposals. Where I live, Saginaw County, there's a Mosquito Abatement Commission renewal and increase. There's a Saginaw Intermediate School District Special Education millage. That is a repeat from one that went down this past summer, and that is Saginaw County. So, as you see, when you pull down your ballot, for those of you watching on video, I'll show you, it comes down like this, and it's pages, because there are all kinds of different races and lots of people. So it does pay to pull it down, take a look at it, and get the information you need. Tim is in Hemlock, but you know, Tim, I'm going to ask you a favor. I'm going to ask you to call back after the hour because I just looked at the clock and I am late. Got to take a break, and we will be back to close out. Tim, call back after the news.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
All right, that'll do it for the first hour of the Art Lewis Show. We will be back with more open phones right after the news coming up from CBS. That'll be the national and international report. We'll have the local report bringing you up to date on the region and the state. And then back with more on the Art Lewis Show. We'll talk to you in just a few minutes.
The Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez in New York. Hurricane Ian is headed for the west coast of Florida.
What we have here is really historic storm surge and flooding potential.
Governor DeSantis with a stern warning just now after a Category 3 Ian slammed into western Cuba this morning. As for Floridians, CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
Wednesday is your day of persistent rain, of wind gusts increasing. Thursday is your likely landfall. You're going to be seeing rain that is going to be just absolutely torrential for hours and hours.
The storm could make landfall in Tampa, which hasn't seen a storm this size in more than a century. Facebook says it's found and disabled fake accounts that spread Russian propaganda about the war. CBS's Vicki Barker's at the foreign desk.
Facebook parent company Meta says the Russian-based network used hundreds of fake social media accounts and dozens of sham news websites to spread Kremlin disinformation about Ukraine through much of Western Europe. Investigative journalists in Germany found it first. By the time Meta investigated, many of the fake accounts had already been removed by Facebook's automated systems. They'd amassed thousands of followers by then.
Evidence huge gas pipelines from Russia to Europe may have been sabotaged. Here's correspondent Cammie McCormick.
The Danish government says military photos show gas leaks bubbling in the Baltic Sea. Earlier, it said the Nord Stream pipelines may have been damaged by targeted attacks, and it couldn't be a coincidence. If the pipelines are shut down, it would cut off gas deliveries from Russia to Germany and Central Europe, and gas prices will surely go up again.
The Kremlin says early results from are in favor of annexing parts of eastern Ukraine. A day after entering the bear market, the Dow's bouncing back from its lowest level since 2020. It's up more than 275 right now. S&P ahead 43. Lumber prices have fallen back to their lowest level in more than 2 years. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says they'd been helping to drive inflation.
The price of 2x4s almost tripled from the pre-pandemic record, which was a warning sign that inflation and supply chains would be a core issue in the COVID recession's recovery.
Home prices cooled in July at the fastest rate in the history of the S&P's Case-Shiller Index. And Walmart's ready to offer insurance benefits to workers trying to expand their families. It's teaming up with a fertility startup to offer treatments like in vitro and fertility testing. Workers will be eligible regardless of sex or sexual orientation. This is CBS News.
You need to hire? Indeed is with you every step of the way, helping you attract, interview, and hire candidates all from one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Christopher Cross. Friday, October 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino. Same show, same night. John Wick. Tickets start at $34, on sale now. The Soaring Eagle box office or etix.com. The 40th Anniversary Tour. Christopher Cross with John Wayne. Friday, October 28th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 800-730-8405 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check. As easy as, that's 800-730-8405.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building, fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Well, skies, a little bit of rain and 50 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Perch. A quick traffic note to pass along to you. A gas leak has been detected in the area of Eagle Road in Tittabawassee Township. Eagle Forest Drive in that area will be shut down, and some houses are being evacuated due to the leak. So if you happen to be traveling near that area, please try to find an alternate route. A driver's license restoration clinic will be held at the SVRC Marketplace on Washington Avenue in Saginaw tomorrow from 11 to 7. Hosted by the Michigan Department of State, Department of Attorney General, United Way of Saginaw County, and other community partners, Michigan residents with suspended licenses can get help restoring their driving privileges. People can walk in without pre-registering between 11:30 and 6. Participants are advised to bring a recent copy of their driving record to the clinic or purchase a copy at the clinic for $12 for staff to review and provide recommendations on how they can restore their license and provide services they need to do so on site. The clinics do not provide DUI expungement services. For more information, visit michigan.gov/road. The Saginaw County Office of Emergency Management is currently updating the Saginaw County Hazard Mitigation Plan. The plan is updated every 5 years and is required by the Federal Emergency Management Agency for Saginaw County jurisdictions to qualify for certain federal disaster grants. The intent of the plan and the planning process is to identify and rank hazards to which Saginaw County is susceptible. Once identified, the county and its local jurisdictions can identify possible mitigation strategies that may reduce the impact of future incidents on people, property, and the environment. To assist with the update process, the Office of Emergency Management is asking people who live, work, or attend school in Saginaw County to complete a brief survey. The survey and additional information can be found at saginawcounty.com/EMHSD. The survey deadline is October 7th. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go bedliner. But did you know they also offer rust proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust proofing and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather. College shopping is made easy at the Mott Community College 38th Annual Regional College Fair on October 13th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the Ballinger Fieldhouse on the main campus in Flint. Representatives from more than 50 colleges and universities from Michigan as well as out of state will be on hand to discuss admission requirements, programs of study, financial options, and student life on their campuses. MCC divisions will showcase their programs, including the Regional Technology Center, Culinary Arts, Criminal Justice, and more. To streamline the evening and give participants more time to talk with college and university representatives, prospective students are encouraged to visit the online registration form or visit the Mount Community College Fair site to pre-register. Despite concerns about a recession, inflation, and higher interest rates, salaries are trending upward. Robert Half's Neil Gilbert says they are out with their new salary guide.
Looking to potentially get ahead and looking forward to the future of making sure that their career continues to grow and that they are the ones who are perhaps staying ahead of the curve, if you will. We have seen that at least 46% of employers out there are offering higher starting salaries.
Gilbert says 83% of managers who increased base pay for new hires in the past year have also made pay adjustments for current staff. He says unemployment has gone up some and says it could go to 4.5%, but he says it was 10% at the start of the pandemic. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Perchak.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers at times here. Skies a high in the upper 50s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. And then for tonight, a chance for rain showers early on, mostly cloudy and low near 44. Wednesday, partial sunshine develops a high of 56 degrees. Then by Thursday, we'll see mostly sunny skies, a high around 61. Friday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high around 66. Saturday, sunshine, high of 69. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 49.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 7. WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday. Nice to have you with us. We will have open phones later on, but coming up in the very near future, as a matter of fact, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., there will be the Dr. Rena Akbar Memorial Lecture Series on Islam and Culture. It's in partnership with Saginaw Valley State University Edwards Lecture Series and the Dow Visiting Scholars Lecture Series, and presented by a very good friend of mine and certainly a community leader, Dr. Wahid Akbar. And we are pleased to say good morning to not only Dr. Akbar, but the featured speaker tomorrow, Swat Abdul Kabir. Dr. Kabir is with us this morning, too. So good morning to both of you. Dr. Akbar, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Thank you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Really appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. And Dr. Kabir, welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
I love that the title of your lecture is Muslim Cool, Race, Religion, and Hip Hop in the United States. It's pretty interesting because when I see Muslim Cool, race and religion, I understand. The hip hop part, I'm not sure about. So let's talk about that a little bit this morning. Tell us about your lecture.
Yeah, so I'm going to tomorrow evening based on my book by that title, Muslim Cool, Race, Religion, and Hip Hop in the United States. And I am an anthropologist, and I did research with young Muslims in the U.S., particularly in the city of Chicago. And one of the things that brought me to that research was my own upbringing, right? I am also Muslim and grew up Muslim in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a part of what you call the hip-hop generation, right? We are the folks who, grew up as hip-hop grew up, right? I remember a time when hip-hop was new, right? And when it was unknown. And a part of hip-hop's story, which hip-hop communities aren't as familiar with, is Islam and Muslim, right? Because at the same time that hip hop is growing up and becoming, something, it is growing up in these Black and Latinx communities in which Islam is really important. And so the hip hop part for me, the hip hop part for me is very, how do you say? It's almost ordinary, I would say, right? Because, well,
it's
hip hop music and culture. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as Wahid knows, I'm 79 years old, so my music was the top 40 of the late 50s and 60s, and that's what I grew up with. And hip hop is what you grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. I have to say though, I mean, it's more generational than racial and religious, isn't it?
What is
hip hop?
In terms of?
Well, in terms of it crosses racial and social economic boundaries.
So there are a couple things. So like I was trying to say, hip hop grew up in a world, right, or Muslims, particularly Black Muslims, African American Muslims, were really important. They were people who were leaders in communities, people who really led Black communities into what we call knowledge of self, which is the hip hop element, this idea of knowing your history, right, so you can understand your present, so you can do something in the future. This is very important for Black communities in this country and also just in the world because of the ways in which, sort of ideas of Black inferiority, that Black people aren't really human, that they can't do as much as other people, continue to proliferate, right? And so that becomes really important. So hip hop as a musical form, as a cultural form, has always also spread that message. And while you're right, today is like pop music, right? And so everybody listens to it. Hip hop, even today in pop music, is still associated with Blackness, right? Black people, the city, right? Ideas about Black people. And so race and religion are always then central to hip hop. So, the thing about Black popular culture, you said you listened to music 50s and 60s, right?
Yep.
Right? So did you listen to Elvis?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Right. But Elvis's style, right, is completely grounded in sort of Black artists, right, who preceded him or were around him, right?
Gospel.
So
absolutely.
Similar with hip hop.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? The same thing happened.
Yeah. I have to ask you, Dr. Kabir, what takes a young Black Muslim woman on the path to a doctorate in anthropology?
Zora Neale Hurston, who your audience may or may not be familiar with her. She was an early Black woman anthropologist. She was a part of the Harlem Renaissance. She's most well known for her books, Their Eyes Are Watching God. But she was a student of one of the more famous anthropologists, like in U.S. anthropology, Franz Boas, and she was really interested in anthropology because, again, right, she was like, I'm a Black person, I live in a segregated U.S., and folks think we don't have culture, we don't have tradition, we don't have history, right? And one of the things she did was do research, like go into Black communities to sort of capture these stories and then tell them. And so myself, as someone who is African descendant, someone who also identifies as Afro-Latina, and who is a Muslim, there are lots of stereotypes, right, that abound about the different communities that I'm a part of, right, to this day. And so hearing about Zora Neale Hurston made me think, I'm going to do the same thing, right? I want to, collect these stories and tell these stories to confront, right, and to challenge the misperceptions about who we are.
Yeah. Wahid, let's talk about the series. How did the Dr. Rana Akbar Memorial Lecture Series come about?
This was when Rana passed away. This is now 13 years. I can't believe it.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And it's, I met with Dr. Eric Gilbertson, a very close friend who at that time was the president at Saginaw Valley State University. And we, for something which would be a memory in Rana's or legacy. And we thought this would be the best way for something which can be used to remember, but also the message she had. And I really think today's or tomorrow's speaker Dr. Abdul Kabir is as an ideal speaker, in my opinion, which Rana would have just loved here. A Muslim woman, a woman of color, and just as you met a PhD, an intellectual, an academic. And me and Rana felt that if we are concerned that Islam is not represented either in the media or in general public's eyes, whose responsibility it is. We felt strongly that it is our responsibility to tell, quote unquote, our side of the story. And that is what Islam is all about. And it's variable things, and people somehow feel it to be a monolithic religion. And this topic Dr. Abdul Kabir is going to be talking about tomorrow is very pertinent, that Muslims come in all shapes and forms, and they have cultures, they represent all kind of backgrounds. So I think that is what this lecture is all about, to introduce people about the diversity of Muslims, the diversity of Islam.
Let's remind everybody the wheres and whens.
It is tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., which is September 28th at the Real Hall, which is at the Saginaw Valley State University. It's in the Groenings Commons. It'll be at 6:30 p.m. It's free for everybody to attend, and we would love as many people who can attend as possible.
All right, hang on. I'll do one more segment with both of you. I have to take a break first, and we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
I'm Jacob Hilliker, Bay County Road Commissioner. I believe we deserve more local road funding for the amount of taxes we pay downstate. We all know working people in Bay County have always had to shout a little louder to be heard in Lansing. That's why I'm here. I'm a business owner, and I operate a small farm. I don't have time for the national partisan nonsense of the week. I'm here to do a job. Vote Hilliker. Paid for by Jacob Hilliker for Bay County.
Are you looking for something special? Something right for your needs? What about something with performance backed by unique germplasm? Well, we're here to help you find a soulmate for your soil. Your soil mate. With AgriGold, enjoy a seed made so specifically for your soil it feels like fate. And with a team that's with you every step of the way, it's never been easier. Find your soil mate.com.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Quick question. Why would you pay full price for something when you know that you can save money? Doing at RocketGrabPlus.com. Check out all of our half-off deals going on right now from Applied Training Solutions, Style Encore, Third Gen Tire and Service Center, Daylight Outfitters, and Salon Blue. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Home price increases are starting to decelerate. According to the S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller 20-City Price Index, the rise slowed to year over year in July, and the nation's largest retailer and private employer is increasing fertility benefits for employees. Walmart is teaming up with a fertility startup to offer benefits under its insurance plan. Kindbody will give benefits such as in vitro fertilization as well as fertility testing, regardless of sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or marital status. And it means that Walmart is joining other major employers like Amazon in helping employees with covering things like fertility treatments. More companies are adding these benefits to help attract and retain workers. Market. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Lisa Booth for Bishop Gold Group. Federal Reserve recent announcements is putting the country on course for a deep recession. That means wild swings in the markets and high inflation will continue to put your retirement savings at risk. Protect the money you worked so hard to save for retirement by investing in gold. Let Bishop Gold Group show you how tangible gold investments can help secure your future. Dial pound 250 from a mobile phone and say the keyword Bishop Gold or visit bishopgoldgroup.com.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right. Start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
Michigan football is on WSGW.
Hands it off to Corum. He bounces outside. He's got a hold. He's in the clear. Touchdown, Blake Corum.
You don't pick up the first down. You go for it, and you score a touchdown.
The ball is tipped and intercepted.
What a great catch.
R.J. Norton. McCarthy hands it to Corum. Bounces outside, and he's got the first down, and nothing but green grass.
Number 4, Michigan won the Big Ten opener against Maryland. Now, the first road test of the year for the Wolverines happens this Saturday against the Iowa Hawkeyes in a rematch of last year's conference championship. Pre-game coverage begins at 11 a.m. with kickoff at noon on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW. Michigan football is brought to you by Lingle Equipment Company, Schaefer and Beerline Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Zimmelmatic Irrigation Solutions, North Bloomfield Properties, and Wolfiles Ace Hardware in Saginaw. It's Michigan at Iowa, Saturday morning at 11 on 100.5 FM News Radio WSGW.
Your home for Michigan Wolverines football is WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Dr. Wahid Akbar about the Dr. Rana Akbar Memorial Lecture Series on Islam and Culture. And the speaker tomorrow night at Saginaw Valley State University is Suad Abdul Kabir. Dr. Kabir is with us this morning. Tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. in the Rhea Miller Recital Hall. She will make her presentation. She is an associate professor of American culture and Arab and Muslim American studies at the University of Michigan. Dr. Abdul Kabir, I would say, just as an observer looking at the American outlook on Muslims, that unfortunately for the past couple of decades since the attacks on the United States and the wars in the Mideast, the radical Muslim factions have come to the forefront, and I think many Americans, unfortunately, have assumed that they represent the Muslim faith. Folks like Dr. Akbar have worked diligently to disprove that and to say that indeed that is not what Muslim is all about. How are we doing as a nation now in getting over that notion?
I think that when it comes to the ways in which sort of non-Muslims in the United States, particularly white non-Muslims in the United States, think about the Muslim community here, there's still, a lot of sort of misunderstanding or misperceptions, misconceptions. I think that, there have been, we see some, I think, strides towards something better. So we see, for example, we have Representatives Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar, right? They're representing their communities in their respective states of Michigan and Minnesota as Muslim women, and one of whom is Black, one is Palestinian, one wears a scarf, one doesn't, right? They represent, they demonstrate, the range of ways in which Muslims appear in this country and also politically, right, in terms of kind of what they're trying to do for their constituencies. And so you see them being elected by their local communities, which seems to speak to, a sense of not believing kind of the hype, so to speak. But you also see them being, right, the direct targets of a ton of attacks, precisely because they're Muslim and they're Muslim women, right? So to me, the story is still, but this is also a very American story, right? Like I said, I'm a Black person in this country, and, we still are dealing with, anti-Black racism. Like, it hasn't gone anywhere. So we make strides forward, right? We've had a Black president. And now we also see, right, what we see in terms of resurgence of, all forms of white supremacy. So I guess to answer your question, I think that there have been some things that have gotten better, and then we're still dealing with a lot of the same problems.
Wahid, how about from your perspective?
I think things are improving. People are more interested in learning and listening. And I think Dr. Abdul Kabir used a very good example of people who are being elected. These are the two people who are at the forefront. But if you look at the last elections, all across the board, all across the country, Muslims have been elected into state legislatures. Muslims have been elected to council, women and men. Muslims have been elected as mayors. And I know personally somebody who is a state senator from Connecticut who is Muslim and Pakistani. So there's a lot of work which is left. And I think that is part of the reason, or I should say one of the reasons I love Dr. Abdul Kabir's work, that, part of it when you see what she represents is also, and we are trying to say that Muslims are basically as a mainstream religion. Islam is a mainstream religion with as many Muslims who are born in the U.S. as there are immigrants, which includes children of immigrant and local converts. There are different cultures and communities which belong to Islam. And I think Dr. Abdul Kabir analyzes the strengths of the communities very well. That is one of the reasons be our keynote speaker tomorrow.
So remind everybody again the details about the lecture series.
It's tomorrow, which is Wednesday, September 28th at 6:30 p.m. at the Rhea Miller Recital Hall, which is at Saginaw Valley State University in the Groningen Commons area. And it's free for everybody to attend. You do not need to register ahead of time. We would love people to come in as walk-ins. We'll have a book signing after the event, and we will have some refreshments. And everybody's welcome.
And Dr. Abdul Kabir, you wrote this book. How long ago now? How old is this book?
It first came out in late 2016, so it's what's that?
So
what is the math there?
So let me ask a question about that now. So the book is Muslim Cool, Race, Religion, and Hip Hop in the United States. You wrote it in 2016. If you were to write that book today, would it be any different?
I mean, I think the fundamental arguments, no, right? Because part of what I'm arguing in the book is that, the ways in which young Muslims, engage hip hop music as a way of being Muslim, like as a way of understanding what it means to be a Muslim in this country, as a way to deal with what it means to be raced, right? Is something that is grounded in longer American history, right? So on that fundamental level, no, that wouldn't change because really what I'm arguing is that Muslim Cool illustrates something that we're all living, right? But in terms of some of the examples and things, like, for example, I would have included, it was like in the Grammys in 2017 when they had a Tribe Called Quest, which is a legendary hip hop group, and artists so legendary like Busta Rhymes and Consequence, they performed this song, right? It was in 2017. And, two of the members of the Tribe Called Quest are Muslim, Busta Rhymes is Muslim, Consequence is Muslim. And then at a certain point on stage, they brought this Muslim woman who I actually think I know, who's also Black, on stage, right? And there was a really significant moment sort of in music, like, the Grammys in general, right? A significant sort of like, music, and to have like 5 Black Muslim men on stage on this huge global stage is significant, right? So I might have included that, for example, or other things that are kind of coming out, right? That's sort of more new. I might have included in terms of to demonstrate because part of what the book is about, and I'm an anthropologist, right? So we're interested really in everyday people, like people like you and me, like we're interested in what they're doing, but what everyday people do has an impact, right, on everybody. So making that connection and sort of sharing more of those stories might have been what I might have changed or added.
Well, I'd like to point out just one little thing that the good doctor you are with, Dr. Akbar, I've known him a long, long time, and you don't have to be young to be cool. I think Dr. Akbar is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Well, listen, both of you, Dr. Abdul Kabir, we welcome you to Saginaw. Look forward to your presentation tomorrow. And Wahid, as always, a pleasure, my friend.
Thank you, Art. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Wednesday, September 28th, 6:30. Dr. Kabir, listen, thank you very much for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Everyone. Thank you, Doctor.
Tomorrow.
Yep. All right. Bye-bye to both of you.
Very kind of you.
Yep.
Both of you to give the time from your busy schedules.
No problem.
Thank you.
Anytime. Thank you, Dr. Akbar. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Again, the Dr. Rana Akbar Memorial Lecture Series on Islam and Culture in partnership with the SVSU Edwards Lecture Series and Dow Visiting Scholars Lecture Series. It's called Muslim, Cool, Race, Religion, and Hip Hop in the United States with Suad Abdul Kabir, Dr. Kabir, an associate professor at the University of Michigan. Take our break, and the remainder of the program will be open phones here on WSGW. Give us a call, 989-752-6111.
Your home is your haven, and energy-efficient window treatments can make it feel even more comfortable throughout the year. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Now through December 5th, save big with rebates on qualifying purchases of gorgeous shades that will beautifully transform the light in your home. Also, select Mohawk carpet featuring all pet protection and warranty are on sale now. The only carpet with protection and warranty for all pets and accidents all the time. Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth, celebrating 60 years in business. We'll help you bring it all together.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Oh, here's my card.
I order takeout, use my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR, but with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 5.73% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high interest credit cards and save money at a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 5.73% APR to 19.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Fall in love with our all-year-round indoor market. Handmade wares from Thrive Creative Innovations, custom clothing from Novelty Tees, children's boutique from Beauty and Beyond, and the hottest shoe trends from Jazzy Soul Boutique, delicious eats from Big O Burger and Barbecue, and global flavors from Cobb King. Our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market has all the fall decor you need. Fall in love inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us in making memories at our upcoming events, Halloween at the Market with our Inside, Outside, and Community Small Businesses on October 29th, 1 to 4 p.m. Have a small business you want to share with our community? Join us at our Holiday in the Heart of the City Makers Market, November 18th and 19th. Check out our Facebook page for all upcoming events. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, and support small business, and we will see you at the market.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be.
Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built to very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
is Alec Baldwin going to get charged with a crime? I stand behind Alec because standing in front of him is a death sentence.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins. Weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW. This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Open phones for the remainder of the hour. A couple of Tims with us. We have Tim in Saginaw first, and then we'll get to Tim in Hemlock. Tim in Saginaw, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art. I know we were talking about abortion a little bit yesterday, and I just wanted to call up and let people know that I'm so thankful for all the Democrats out there and for all the abortion supporters for killing babies. I think it's great. I think we need to kill more babies. We killed 40 million black babies. I'm also, a racist, so that's really helping me out. So good job on that, guys. You're doing really good. But killing babies is awesome, and I'm a big supporter of it.
Yeah, okay, good, thanks.
So I just want to get that out there.
All right, Tim.
We're on our fourth one.
Yeah, good. There's probably
our fourth abortion.
There's probably better ways to say it, but all right, goodbye, Tim. Goodbye, Tim. Goodbye, Tim. I mean, look, come on, folks. If you want to present an argument, then present the argument. That's just ludicrous to do it that way. Tim is in Hemlock. Tim, good morning.
Hey, Art, I'll try to be a little bit different.
Good, thank you.
Nice show. Nice show, but one gentleman that called in really perked up my ears when he made this comment, and I've listened to your show, and one of the main topics is always the border, the illegal crossings, the apprehensions. Of course, we're counting apprehensions, not people that actually have crossed.
Get away.
But, yeah, right. The one that perked up my ears was since Biden opened the border. And I just wanted to bring into perspective a few things. When it's like Donald Trump, and I don't know if you're saying this or not, it's like Donald Trump closed the border and when Donald Trump took office, border crossings were at a 50-year low. So that's 2016. In 2019, Trump is still in office. Border crossings are at a high never reached before since 2007. 800,000 apprehensions. Yep. Now, we seem to forget things as it goes on and on and on, and we really need to focus that they were coming across under Donald Trump as well.
Well, now let's talk about why. And I'm not disagreeing with you, by the way. You're absolutely right. But one of the reasons that the illegal immigration increased when Trump was in office was because of his threats to close the border and start building the wall. And those that wanted in this country had to accelerate their movement. So yeah, numbers went up.
That doesn't fit with right now because there is
no. It fits with right now because the Biden administration has loosened the policies. It's almost an invitation. Listen, let's be honest about immigration. This country's immigration system has been broken a long time. Congress after Congress after Congress, president after president after president has done very little to fix the system. Both parties, absolutely. Both parties have done very little to fix the problem. And it needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. We are a compassionate country. We are a country built on immigrants. And there has never been anything wrong with immigrants coming to this country to make us a better place. However, there have to be controls and limits. There has to be policy in place that makes sense. And you have to have secure borders, because without secure borders, you don't have a country.
I'm for legal immigration.
Absolutely.
We have to have immigration reform, which takes both parties. I'm
Yes.
not a proponent of the wall, because the wall will not work. It's not working now. But I am a proponent of technology and more border patrol.
Okay, I would not disagree with you.
I remember listening to one Republican congressman, and he stated, and these were 13 that bordered the Mexican border. And he said, in my district, it's not a matter of minutes or hours for the Border Patrol to get to my area when there's a report. It's weeks and months. So we need more people on the ground. We need more administrative judges, too, to deal with these people coming through. Some have legitimate political asylum things, and others don't.
So let me ask you this. It all takes money. It all takes money.
Hiring people is going to cost more than the capital cost of a wall in the long term. That's true. But, I
Well, no matter what you do, it's going to take money. I don't care how you do it. It's going to take money. My question is, have we wisely spent money on it? I don't think so.
I don't think a wall is the answer. You can get over the wall, through the wall. And, of course, we're not even counting the number that fly into the country and do not leave.
Yeah, but let's understand this too, though. The wall may not be the permanent answer and the perfect answer, but it was something. And
it was an easy response to.
Well, call it easy, call it what you want. It was a response.
I'll put it this way: it's a 4th century response when we are in.
But it's a response. When nobody did anything, it's a response.
Well, wait a minute. What I tried to say was, I don't think a wall will work. I think high-tech drones, border patrol.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm simply suggesting at least it was a start. Somebody tried something, whether it was 4th century or not. At least it was an attempt, and there hasn't been much.
My point in calling was when somebody said Biden opened the border. I wanted to bring it back to 2019, when more people came across than 2007.
And more people have come across since, haven't they? So he hasn't done anything to help it.
Here's the issue. There's Cuba's falling apart. Venezuela's falling apart. Some of the Central American countries are falling apart. The Cubans, this is from the BBC, by the way, a pretty good source of information. The Cubans are going to Venezuela, then the Venezuelans and the Cubans are going to Mexico. We can't send them back to Venezuela because we don't have political relations with Venezuela.
So let me ask another question.
And
Mexico has some of the toughest immigration laws in the world. Why are they letting them through?
They don't want them.
No, so they'll just send them to us.
Well, you asked me a question.
Well, my question is, why are they letting them through when they have the toughest immigration laws in the world? And the answer is they shouldn't be.
I get what you're saying. How are they getting in on their southern border? Is what
Exactly. Because that's where they're getting in. All right, look, I got to run. I got to take a break. But Tim, we'll do it again.
All right.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye now. We'll be back. Gene, hang on. You'll be next.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Salon Blue. You are going to get a gel manicure and a Salon Blue pedicure for only $60. It's usually $120, but you are getting it half off. Salon Blue is a full salon, spa, and boutique. You'll leave feeling happy and feeling like new. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com. With help from Menards and Dakota Shelving. Whether you need a spot for extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Dakota has the shelf for you. With a variety of attractive finishes, your shelves are guaranteed to match your style. Save 11% on all Dakota Shelving. Good through October 2nd. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I get those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real. And I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Can't believe you gave me toe fungus.
I gave my wife toe fungus for the third time. My doctor then told me that toe fungus is not just a cosmetic problem and that it can spread and get worse. He introduced me to a new and different routine that flushes out even the most difficult cases of fungus. It's called Crystal Flush. Call now, and for a limited time, you can try Crystal Flush risk-free for 30 days. Call 800-675-9431. That's 800-675-9431.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
Has any other presidential dog gotten this much press coverage than Major lately? It's been a while. Major seems like he's getting a lot of coverage.
Have we had any presidential dog that has had some of the incidents that Major has had in his first few days in the White House?
I saw a meme where Major is sitting opposite of Oprah to give his side of the story.
Nobody's asking Major.
Nobody's asking him.
I see they brought in a dog whisperer. Problem with the dog, it's the training of the people to know how to react and behave around the dog.
That is always true.
And I guess he didn't break the skin, but he nipped the people that he nipped both times.
Hey, I'm not sure who was nipped, but if it's somebody in government, I'm on Major's side. I'm on Major's side.
They're on track.
The WSGW Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and Gene is in Bay City. Good morning, Gene.
Good morning. I agree with you 100%. They should finish the wall. They should get stricter on checking immigrants into the country. But I want to kind of have people look at a different angle. Now, when we first started Social Security, people were having 3, 4, 5 children, and there were more and more people working, and that kept Social Security stronger. Well, nowadays, careers, they don't want children, or a lot of families, they'll have 1 or 2 children, and the population of the United States is going down.
No.
And
No. Population has grown. Population has grown. It may not be growing at the rate that it was growing, but it's not going down.
Well, we hear things in these documentaries, and you don't know for sure what's true and what isn't. But anyhow, it's not increasing the way it was. Now, immigrants coming in, and they're checked, and they're good people, and they go to work, and they're paying into Social Security and paying taxes.
So you're talking about legal immigrants, right?
Inflation will part of the reason for that the situation is the way it is because women that were working stopped working because childcare is so expensive. And if they could hire a babysitter cheap that, had good credentials, they could go back, the women could go back to work.
Well, that happened, though, since the pandemic. That seems to be the turning point.
Absolutely right. But, as I said, the more people we have working, more people paying into Social Security, and more people paying taxes, that's all going to be to the good in the long run.
Well, right now unemployment's at a low. There are lots of jobs out there going looking for people, and there's a lot of people that don't seem to want to work.
Yeah,
and I don't understand that.
A woman's point of view. I mean, with the pandemic out there, and
I understand that.
You have to pay half of your salary to a babysitter or childcare or whatever. Why go to work? It doesn't make any sense because you're not making any money, really.
I understand that there are those who face that situation. I understand that. But that doesn't translate into just throwing your border wide open and letting people cross willy-nilly.
I agree with you 100%.
Two different things. I believe in legal immigration. I believe strongly in it because almost all of us, unless you're Native American, are products of it. So I just think we need to have laws that make sense.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
And methods that make sense. So, all right,
but
Gene,
maybe they need to have more judges and more people.
No, yeah, but that takes money too. Yeah, I understand that. All right, I got to go because of time, but thanks, appreciate it.
Thanks for listening. Have a nice afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Let me talk about a 401k. It can be an important asset for many American retirements. You made contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers, the little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visit GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or otherwise permitted. Topic should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor in the state of Michigan.
You have a family doctor. Do you have a family plumber? When you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem happen in your home or business, call a professional that you can rely on and trust to make the repair or equipment replacement. Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been the professional homeowners and businesses trust for 65 years. Whether you're looking for an emergency water heater replacement or planning a new heating system installation, you can trust Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning to provide quality service and installation. Reamer has the equipment to fit every budget, experienced estimators, and state licensed technicians to install. Trust a professional to do the job right. Call Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Visit them on the web at reamerplumbing.com.
Anyway, you spend. Reamer means quality.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Trying to find when and where you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football on WSGW? Just click on the sports broadcast box on WSGW.com for complete game time listings. That's WSGW.com.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Thanks for being with us. Dave, I'm sorry we didn't get to you today, but we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it again. Stick around now for news from CBS, the National International Report. We'll have the local report for you, bringing you up to date on the Great Lakes Bay region and the state of Michigan. And then we will be back with Focus. We'll be talking to Christine Harrington, the health officer from Saginaw County, about the Be Well initiative and a walk coming up. That's what's ahead on Focus next on WSGW.
From the premier kitchen and bath gallery studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by General Steel.
I'm Steve Kathan. Hurricane Ian is expected to add muscle and become a Category 4 storm by the time it hits Florida sometime tomorrow. It's now a Category 3. Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie says 2.5 million people are under evacuation orders.
If you live in an evacuation zone and you decide to shelter in place, make sure you have enough supplies to weather the storm. We may be without power 3, 5, 7 days or more, depending on.
CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says there could be a storm surge close to 10 feet.
If the storm were to come on land either in the Tampa Bay or further north, let's say Clearwater up towards Pasco County, now you have that storm surge and all of that water pushing in from the Gulf into Tampa Bay, and that's one of the worst case scenarios.
Western Cuba took a beating from Hurricane Ian. CBS's Omar Villafranca says there's flooding and power outages.
In the coastal municipality of Batabano, crews with the Red Cross and the mayor worked to evacuate at-risk residents to higher ground. We're going house to house, she said, taking out the elderly and children.
From the Secret Service took the cell phones of 24 agents involved in the Capitol attack response and gave them to investigators. The seizure is part of the criminal probe by the Department of Homeland Security into the Secret Service's missing text messages from January 6th, 2021. Facebook's parent company Meta says it's removed 1,600 fake accounts on the social network used to spread Russian propaganda on Ukraine. CBS's Vicki Barker.
There's no proof the Russian government was behind the disinformation network, but the fake social media accounts and sham news websites involved parroted Russian positions on the invasion of Ukraine, and in a few cases, Russia and Asia amplified the content on their websites.
In Ukraine, Russian soldiers have been pushing for people to vote in referendums in Russian-held territory, an apparent pretext for annexation by Moscow.
These soldiers, which are going from house to house, knocking at the doors. So if you see they knocking at your apartment, pretend that you're not home, and most likely they will not waste time knocking at your door and just leave.
Some students at around 100 Virginia middle and high schools are walking out of class today to voice opposition to a proposed reversal of policies that protect transgender students.
I want to go to my calculus class. I do not want to be fighting for my rights.
Affect bathroom rules and would put decisions on preferred names in the hands of parents. Wall Street right now, a bounce back day for stocks. The Dow is up 215 points. This is CBS News.
If you're a business owner renting or leasing, you can save a ton of money and own a custom-designed building made by General Steel. Just call 877-25-STEEL and get a quote today.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Save on everything for your next project with 11% off power tools at Menards. Senko tools make work easier and faster, along with quality you can trust. The Duraspin Auto Feed Screw Gun features blazing fast speed in a compact design. It's perfect for fast drywall and subfloor installations. Get 11% off all Senko tools now at Menards. Good through October 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebates. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter you're looking for the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Bright sky and 50 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Eagle Forest Drive near Melky Road in Tittabawassee Township is currently closed. Some houses have been evacuated due to a gas leak in the area. Again, that's Eagle Forest Drive near Melky Road in Tittabawassee Township. If you happen to be driving near that area, please try to find an alternate route. An 18-year-old student has been charged with assault and other charges after a knife attack at Bridgeport High School last week. School staff gave medical attention to two 17-year-old students. One victim had several puncture wounds and the other victim had 2 lacerations, according to police, saying both victims were in a local hospital for treatment. Police officers responded to the school at 11:12 in the morning Thursday. Louis Miller Jr. has been charged for the incident that injured the 2 students. Miller was arrested the same day. He's been arraigned and charged with felonious assaults, carrying a concealed weapon, and possessing a weapon in a weapon-free school zone. Investigators believe the stabbing happened during an altercation between the 3 students. Miller is due back in court October 6th. State police have opened a 3rd investigation into an elderly Mayo man after 2 people have accused him of criminal sexual conduct. In August 2021, a medical coordinator for Michigan Child Advocacy Center reported an assault by 82-year-old Richard Walzer. He was arraigned on multiple criminal sexual conduct charges and home invasion. He was arrested again last Thursday and charged with 3rd-degree criminal sexual conduct, gross indecency between a male and female, and criminal sexual conduct assault with intent to commit penetration after a second assault victim has come forward. Police say there may be an additional victim. Walzer is being held in the Osceola County Jail on a $75,000 bond. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
The Home Builders Association of Saginaw, along with Carter Lumber, the Fall Parade of Homes, Saturday and Sunday, October 1st, 2nd, 8th, and 9th, 1 to 5 p.m., and Wednesday, October 5th, 5 to 8 p.m. The Parade of Homes is your opportunity to view beautiful homes and talk with local builders about your plans of building or purchasing your new home. Visit SaginawParadeofHomes.com for tour information and your chance to register in our prize drawing. That's SaginawParadeofHomes.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for With the Macintoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the Macintoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. It's about to get a lot easier to travel to Canada. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has confirmed the government will finally end its mandatory vaccination requirement. Travelers will no longer be required to fill out the unpopular ArriveCan app, nor undergo testing or requirements. The health minister of Canada says it's all thanks to the number of people who rolled up their sleeves to get vaccinated. The news is music to the ears of companies with cross-border trade and truckers. It all starts on Saturday. A new poll out by the University of Michigan shows some people are stocking up on junk food as the price of food continues to soar. Poll director Dr. Preeti Malani says 36% of older Americans between 50 and 64 say they're eating less healthy due to high prices, but Malani says it doesn't have to be that way.
I think gaining a little bit of experience looking at nutrition labels and lower cost items that are quite healthy and quite tasty. Again, there are lots of complicated issues here, but for our younger listeners, also just learning how to shop and learning how to cook on a budget is something that can help some people.
Malani says the poor eating habits could be a problem, particularly for those in lower income households who rate their physical or mental health as fair or poor. A dozen Red Cross volunteers from Michigan are traveling to Florida as Hurricane Ian takes aim. Officials say they're pre-positioning the staff and supplies before the storm hits. Red Cross feeds and provides comfort to victims of disasters, as well as 80% of the nation's blood supply. More volunteers could also head to Florida if needed. WSGW News Time, 11:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW Weatherology Forecast. We'll see a few scattered rain showers at times here for today, with cloudy skies, a high in the upper 50s. Winds out of the northwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 20. And then for tonight, a chance for rain showers early on, mostly cloudy, a low near 44. Wednesday, partial sunshine develops, a high of 56 degrees. Then by Thursday, we'll see mostly sunny, around 61. Friday, plenty of blue skies and sunshine, high around 66. Saturday, sunshine, high of 69. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast. Currently, it's 50.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
And good morning to you, and welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. I'm Art Lewis, and Focus, of course, brought to you by the good folks at RoofMax, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about RoofMax online at getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. That's RoofMax with 2 X's. And on this edition of Focus, we're going to learn about an initiative called Be Well, and also a walk coming up that has to do with it. And to find out more about it, we welcome to the program the health officer in Saginaw County at the Saginaw County Department of Public Health. We say good morning again to Christina Harrington. Good morning, Christina.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're doing well, thanks. Hope you are too. So tell us a little bit, let's get an overview, if you will, of the Be Well initiative. What is it all about?
Is an upcoming sort of program that's very community focused to help get Saginaw a little healthier. In Saginaw County, we rank 71 out of 83 counties in terms of how healthy we are. So we're at the bottom of the barrel when we look at other Michiganders across the state. Our outcomes aren't great. We have far too many of our residents who are obese or overweight. We've got too many residents struggling with mental health issues. We have too many of our babies that die before their first birthday. These are really staggering statistics, and it's community partners focused to build some resiliency, reduce some risk factors, and get Saginaw healthier. And that is the Be Well initiative. really focused in those three areas, which is maternal child health, mental health and substance use, and obesity and obesity-related chronic diseases.
Now, I have
obesity.
I have to we'll come back to that, but I have to ask the one that stands out to me, the maternal health and infant mortality. I thought we were doing better as a county in that regard. I know at one time the numbers were not good, but I thought we had improved that. Have we not?
Seen improvements in maternal and child health over the decades, but that's across the state of Michigan and across the nation as we've really focused in these efforts. But when you compare us to other counties, we aren't. In 2020 alone, the rate of infants that died before their first birthday was the highest in Michigan was Saginaw County.
Oh, wow.
So we still have a lot of work to do in this area.
Yeah. Okay, on to the next topic, of which many of us suffer, obesity and overweight. That seems to be a plague in this country, though, isn't it?
It is a plague in this country. Eat and hearing about folks stocking up as prices are higher and eating more processed food.
You heard that. Yeah.
I did hear that. Yeah. I thought, interestingly enough, we're seeing we're moving less. We have more sedentary lifestyles and we're not eating very well, and hence the problem before us in many capacities.
How do you change that culture?
Yeah, I mean, behaviors we know are hard when we look at it, across addictions and what we do every day. We're not always doing the best things to our bodies to be as healthy as we can be. So it really means, as we know, when we've seen a lot of stories of success, it's people that are willing to make those lifestyle changes. And they need to be small changes over time. The crash diets and things like that don't always work. But if we collectively work to be more active and get out there a little bit at a time and make some healthy lifestyle changes, we know that we can make improvements in our rates of obesity and overweight.
So you're going to have a Be Well initiative, but like any other initiative, it requires willing recipients. Somebody has to say, okay, yeah, I want to get the information. How do you get that across?
Absolutely. So we definitely want to direct people that want information around what we're doing to BeWellSaginaw.org, or follow us on Facebook, Be Well Saginaw. We've got lots of tips and all of the great pieces of programming that we're implementing, one of which is getting people on that physical activity side out and about on our 5K race, which is happening this Saturday, downtown Saginaw at the YMCA.
Is it a race or is it a walk? Are we running or are we walking?
It is. You can do either one. It is a 5K race walk. So we have lots of people signed up who will run. So a race event, but also folks can register to walk.
Right.
In addition, we're really trying to get families out that day. And we have a family fun run walk, which is a non-timed event where we want the whole family to come out and just be a little more active and learn about all the wonderful resources that we have right around the YMCA that people can use for free.
All right, hang on. We'll come back, talk more about that. We are talking to Christina Harrington. She is the health officer for the Saginaw County Department of Public Health. More ahead here on WSGW.
For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax and military spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV and protect it year-round.
Linex is located on Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671. Or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
This is Rachel from the SVRC Marketplace, located at 203 South Washington, right on Riverfront, Saginaw. Fall in love with our all-year-round indoor market. Handmade wares from Thrive Creative Innovations, custom clothing from Novelty Tees, children's boutique from Beauty and Beyond, and the hottest shoe trends from Jazzy Soul Boutique. Delicious eats from Big O Burger and Barbecue, and global flavors from Cobb King. Our downtown Saginaw Farmers Market has all the fall decor you need. Fall in love inside the SVRC Marketplace, open Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Join us in making memories at our upcoming event with our inside, outside, and community small businesses on October 29th, 1 to 4 p.m. Have a small business you want to share with our community? Join us at our Holiday in the Heart of the City Makers Market, November 18th and 19th. Check out our Facebook page for all upcoming events. We thank you for the continued support of our small businesses. Remember to shop local, eat local, and support small business, and we will see you at the market.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
SGW inviting you to explore America's last frontier, Alaska, from August 30th to September 10th, 2023. You'll fly from Detroit to Fairbanks for a start of a 12-day land and sea adventure. Ride the stern wheel of discovery as you learn about Alaska's diverse culture and rich history. Then it's on to Denali National Park for a tundra wilderness tour. From Denali, you ride a luxury dome rail car to Talkeetna and stay at Talkeetna Alaskan Lodge. The next day finds you driving to Whittier to board Holland America's New Amsterdam for a 7-night cruise. You'll see Hubbard Glacier Bay, plus stops in Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan before sailing the Inside Passage to your final destination of Vancouver, BC. Past experience tells us this will sell out fast. To find out more, plan on attending a Zoom meeting with Colette Vacations Ed McKenna on October 5th at 3:30 p.m. Send me an email to receive the Zoom link. Send your request to artlewis@wsgw.com. If you can't make the Zoom meeting, send your address and I'll forward a brochure to you. Send now to artlewis@wsgw.com. Alaska is calling.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios. You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
And we're talking to Christina Harrington, the health officer at Saginaw County Department of Public Health, about the Be Well initiative and an upcoming walk run, which is coming up this weekend. And Christina, do people have to pre-register to participate in the 5K?
You do have to pre-register, and we're still taking registrations now, so they can go to bewellsaginaw.org and click on the Register Now button. Fill it out. And by doing that, they also get a free Y membership through the end of November for the Saginaw YMCA.
Oh, so you can find out what it's like to actually do workouts and be physical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy, have they got the equipment there, no doubt about it. So the initiative, how is the initiative going to function? We know you have the race walk to get people out and get them active. How is the initiative itself going to function? How are you going to get the information out to people?
Well, the initiative itself will also be fall. We're going to do some concerted efforts inside our schools, at our public school districts, bringing back a program called Step Up Saginaw to increase physical activity and nutrition education with our youth, as we know that they also struggle with obesity and being overweight as well. And so they're going to see initiatives of Be Well right into the community. It's not just the Be Well Saginaw is really meant to be Saginaw County, but we really want it to be grassroots down into every community. So we're going to see Be Well Bertrand and Be Well Freeland and Be Well Hemlock initiatives, also really to bring awareness to the problem and to continue to offer up folks the abilities to continue to be physically active and provide nutrition education. So that information will get passed out that way, in addition to a lot of social media presence coming up around that nutrition education piece specifically.
We don't rank very well as a healthy county versus other counties in the state of Michigan. How did we do, though, relative to COVID? Have we passed the point of not worrying about it now?
Well, I think everyone wants to say that. Of course, COVID's going to continue to spread. It's here to stay, unfortunately. But we have seen some promising indicators because we have now at this point in time developed so many great mitigation strategies. Obviously, the vaccine is one, but therapeutics is another that is being more widely used across the state and across our community. So people who do contract COVID can easily and quickly get the therapeutics that they need, things like Paxlovid, so that they can minimize any severe outcomes due to what we're looking to do. So with that, we can manage, the continuous spread as we're going to see with, just like we see with influenza every year, right? It's here to stay, but we have seen some promising signs over the last few months in terms of the plateau of the disease, even more recently. So, fingers crossed, we do expect to still see a spike in our, winter months when we're all inside and ready to circulate. So people need to be mindful, but, we know what to do now. And biggest thing is wash your hands. And if you don't feel well, stay home.
Yeah. Let me ask, and I just a matter of fact, just this past Sunday, I've got my second booster and my flu shot. How are we doing with flu vaccinations? I mean, we talk a lot about COVID because it was so much in the news for a couple of years, but influenza is nothing you want to deal with either, is it?
Yeah, absolutely. As we know, we do see deaths every year to influenza. And as we know, it definitely likes to target our very young and our very diseases do. And flu is out there now. So glad to hear that you got your flu vaccine. Right about now is the time where folks are getting that flu shot and can continue to do that over the next couple of months. So it's too early to tell where we're going to be with flu vaccinations, but definitely those typical providers that have always, whoever, the listeners go to get their flu vaccine, they probably have their doses. So definitely would encourage them to go get vaccinated.
All right. Well, let's remind everybody again, the race walk is this Saturday, correct, at the Y?
Yes, this Saturday. They can go to bewellsaginaw.org to register and come on out. We also have a Healthy Living Expo at the end. So even if they don't run walk, they can come see all the great stuff we've got going on for families. We have face planning and an obstacle course for kids, yoga demonstrations. There's the new Garber court. So pickleball demonstrations, if they've never seen that, all kinds of family fun events as well.
And what time does it start?
The race kicks off at 9. The expo will start around 10. Our family fun run starts at about 10:30. And we'll probably be there till about 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Oh, we hope you have a great turnout. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Art.
All right. Bye-bye now. Christina Harrington, the health officer for Saginaw County Department of Public Health. And again, the website, bewell.org. We'll be back.
Your home is your haven, and energy-efficient window treatments can make it feel even more comfortable throughout the year. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Warden Interiors in Frankenmuth. Now through December 5th, save big purchases of gorgeous shades that will beautifully transform the light in your home. Also, select Mohawk carpet features